Yo, 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 this is your boy Odyssey. Well, welcome back again. Remember, this is something I don't have to regulate from the rules from Odyssey Records. Gotta remember, if you're watching this as a great episode or whatever on Odyssey Records, just keep it real, keep it Odyssey. But if you're watching this, don't be pested. Because I want to make sure, we want to deal with the safety. If you don't want to make too much excuses and too much obsessed to it, you be gone. And that's why we need to make sure about how this part one that was been going on about the black business struggle. So we need to make sure everything was good. I don't want to hear that again. And that's why we need to keep up the safety and keep it real. I need you proud of it because we're Indians. Oh, yeah. All right. Subjection news. The Native Americans are growing impact in this culture that we see today. Especially for Mexicans and Asians. They were tied at this moment, but they're cultured all the way up. Well, or Spanish, or even like Hispanics as Latinos too. Well, I love this idea, but I love this news, but I think this is something that is going to change. Things going on after the Washington Redskins, they changed the name to a football team. Or especially other nicknames that they shouldn't call the Indians. Especially they don't need Wahoo anymore from the Cleveland Indians because we don't trust the native facts because we're Indians. And then plus, Napa High School already has an Indian before, like back in the days. I'm like, remember those days? This is what happens when racism is getting hurt. And we don't want that to happen. But I understand why Napa High Indians is like a racist logo, but I understand. But I feel like it looks obvious to me that it just doesn't look familiar in my skin bones. But it sucks because they don't need the Indians anymore. Now it's changed to Napa High Grizzlies. They've been doing this for like a few years before when they changed it. But it sucks without the logo because they just don't seem to impact it that much. But it's just the changing factor that was been going on. But I believe that Napa High School does the half of the best ways what we have today, and especially the other schools they've been changed the logos for Indians to the new nicknames because we're part of the culture today. But we don't want Indians come out the name that we use as Redskins. Because people keep dying their souls for no reason. That includes like black or white people. They keep dying from their souls. They keep dying from their hearts, like George Floyd. They keep dying their hearts because they don't have the chance to be reason about the Black Lives Matter. Or they can't read the reasons about the White Lives Matter. Or the KKK, or all that. But this is worse, because I don't want to see how many people they keep dying every day. This is what happens in every people in a minute who ever seen people dying. Or especially like deporting for all those children to Mexico or whatever country what they do. But it's bad. That's because we need DACA because we have to trust this program. You know what I mean? But it's good to know we need to trust this progress because, like calling the Redskins isn't familiar in an American dream no more. They keep divided for no reason. If you know all this stuff about those Native Americans, here's what you have. And here's what you believe. Because we're talking about the Navajos, we're talking about the Crows, the Creeks, the Blackfeets, talking about the Apaches, the Cherokees, and then we're talking about Navajos, Pueblos, Then we're talking about like the Mexican Indians, and then the Alaskan Indians, and then also we're talking about the good old people, the Pacific Islanders. They're also Native Americans too, and we're talking about Asians or Hispanics and Latinos. We're talking about how real people where we have today, because people where we live in, who are in this culture that we have today, there is no need to wait. It's okay to be promised. Try not to hurt the culture too much. But it's better to change your thoughts in the future. You know? It's better with what it used to be. It's better with what the Native Americans, they've been increased up pretty fast because they did this in Mexico. They did this in America. That's not bad. But all we want is just to appreciate people and get along with people, with the Native Americans, because of the Joe Biden administration. We've been talking about this like around with people from racial justice. But this is something you meant, what Joe Biden said. You gotta remember, if you're watching this, if you're not black, that's Joe Biden said. This is me turning when I heard from Joe Biden. That's what I heard. That's what I thought. That's what I heard from anyone. You know what I mean? Because I'm a good guy. Don't treat yourself. And don't be treated like whatever people they will hurt themselves. Because you're the one and that's your fault. Because you should have been like saying this stuff like it was about something about like Google Duo or whatever, or Facebook or Twitter, that you shouldn't say things, so that you shouldn't say me in your own minds. But social media is a problem because group chats, they like to chat anywhere. They like to scat anywhere. This is what happens when one person in this show should never watch this. But that's a problem. And I don't want this idea how the black man can do it. There's no way you're going to treat like that. No way. You're treating like hell. And that's going to treat the Redskins. They're not going to treat you really well. Because we need to treat that factor. Without the guy like Daryl, the Redskins, they're not going to be treated. Because we're even equal. We don't know. We don't know who is going to put up to end. But that's bad. We don't want to make this idea to make the worst adjustments ever. Because, you know, I have one of my heritages. They're all the natives. And you have to respect that. And you have to respect my family. And you have to respect my cousins. This is how the family, what we need to look like. And that's what an America looks like if we need to depress that volume. Impress themselves. Don't just wave away and just say things. Just say something else. You know what I mean? But it's good that way. You want to make something, you need to treat something what you have in fair, because all natives don't take that strategy too much about black people. But we need to make this great. Well, we need to get this straight for one another. But there's no way you're going to have to turn it in and turn out. That's not right. You know what I mean? Because that's not what America is just needed. That's called dividing America. Because we've been talking about George Floyd for Free America. It's the same thing. You don't need to make this shit to punish. You know what I mean? We talk about this. We talk about for everything. I'm talking about what the people, when they need to communicate. We're talking about the school, the Napa High, took to change their logo from the mascot. Every mascot, they changed the logo from like every schools and every elementary schools across the United States. We talk about this. This is something we need to have to change. But But it's good that way. But at the end of the day, we're just the even people. What we have, whoever people calling Redskins, should never would we have a better affair. It's okay to treat each other if you want to make a recreation to create together. Because we're even. We're the people. We're supposed to be the La Raza. That's what we're talking about. And that's it. Yep. So, and here's the next one. Mexican word of the day, duro. Well, duro is a hard word. You have to do your mind and you have to do your own thing. Mind your own business. Well, that's your factor right there, because we need to change your ways to be happy and be the good joy they have to sacrifice. You'll have to make a good day. You have to make a hard day. If everything was a hard day, you have to make a conflict to yourself, because we're on the people. But it's so hard to be Indian, but we need to be powered up. Well, that's all we need, because we need to fight the power that big, because we're too much even in the people. Especially for my heritages. Even for us. Because we're big. We're too big on the people. That's because I have lots of my cousins and uncles. They live in California. It's been everywhere. Think about it. We have too much fun to do that. And don't miss all the interviews. You know, it should be really fun. So this is the show boy Odyssey. Keep it Odyssey, keep it real. And I hope you enjoyed this crazy video that we're talking about. So, it's Odyssey is in the house. Peace.